Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies. All right, we got another mock draft on our hands. This is mock draft 2.0. If you didn't check out that 1.0 mock draft, please go check that out in my other videos. Now, this is going to be very, very quick. This little first part, this is for the lazy people that just want to get through the entire mock draft and not stay for the entire video. Hey, I get it. So we'll go through these 9 players first, and then we'll go through them in a little bit more detail. Now, First things first, hey, if you're new to this channel, a lot of new people when it comes to off season, click that subscribe button, also join that Discord, click those links in the description, read the description, all that good stuff. Let's get to this draft. With the first pick, we're going to take McMillan out of Arizona. Obviously a big, tall receiver. Like I said, we'll get into more depth and more detail on these guys later in this video. With the second pick, I traded back just a couple picks just so we can pick up another mid-round pick. We take Princely out of Ole Miss, an edge rusher. Obviously the Saints need help off that edge, getting sacks. Then with the 71st pick, take TJ Sanders, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. And then with the pick that we traded back for and got, I took another defensive tackle, Omar Norman out of Tennessee. And I can kind of explain that right now. Did you see our defensive tackles this year? Did you see us getting blown off the ball last year? Did you see us not being able to stop the run last year? Yeah, so drafting 2 defensive tackles back to back, hey, I promise I wouldn't mind. Look what the Rams did. They have 2 defensive tackles or defensive players and an edge rusher and defensive tackle up for Rookie of the Year for defensive player. And they drafted them back to back in the draft. Why can't the Saints be next? With the 93rd pick, a fan favorite, Cam Scatable, excuse me, I can't read or enunciate names right now. Obviously, he had a really good career at Arizona State. Then Elijah Arroyo, tight end, Miami. Obviously, we need some tight end help. Then center Jake Majors, that just to be a backup guy. Obviously, Eric McCoy is your guy, but when he went out, we saw all hell broke loose. Then you got some depth towards the end of the draft. We got Geron Dumis Johnson, linebacker Kentucky, and Tommy Hill, cornerback Nebraska. Now that's for the lazy folks. Y'all can get on out of here. You got your mock draft fix in. But now for the hardcore people, we're gonna go into these players a little bit into more detail. Starting off with McMillan, Arizona, obviously big, 6'5", 212, played 3 years at Arizona. We can look at these stats real quick. First year, 39 catches, 702 yards. Second year, 90 catches, 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. And then this past season, 84 catches, 1,300 yards, averaging 15 and a half yards per catch those last 2 seasons. Obviously, this is a really good player. And he's going to be probably a top 10 pick in the draft. Hopefully, if the Saints get their hands on him, that'll be great. Like I said, I'm doing plenty of mock drafts, so I have a lot of different people that come into this first round for the Saints. But right now, it's his turn. We can kind of look at his bio real quick. Obviously, we know we read off his stats right already. We don't really have to do that anymore. Look at some of his strengths and weaknesses. Has remarkable positional versatility, driving as both X receiver and power slot with fluid movement skills, reference frame size. Now the Saints don't have a true X receiver. We haven't had this since Michael Thomas left the team. Michael Thomas, we had Marcus Colston, just a big body receiver. We just need that red zone threat. He brings all of that to the table. Displays advanced route running prowess with diverse tree. I mean, he can run every route. He can run a stop. He can run a hitch. He can run a slant. He can run a go ball, post, corner, digs, whatever you need him to run. He can run. Elite ball tracking. Shows fluid change of direction, which is crazy at that size. Somebody that can change direction. We've all seen the videos of him in the offseason making crazy one-handed catches and stuff like that. Natural hands. Obviously, catch radius is pretty big. Reliable target, all 3 levels of the field. Can find soft spots in the zone. That's obviously really good when you got a big, receiving target like that. Uses size advantage effectively in the red zone. Obviously, we need this, particularly on back shoulder fades and high point situations. God damn it, we haven't had this. Shit, I mean, Jimmy Graham gave us a little bit, but we really haven't had this in a long time for the Saints. Gonna look at some weaknesses. Lacks elite top end speed, but guess what? We have Rashid Sheed and Chris Olave, so guess what? We do not care. We do not care about that. Ken, obviously we care because if he had elite speed, then he'll just be Kelvin Johnson. So obviously he's not that. Can improve explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. I'm 6'5", 200 and something. He's big, so obviously he can always improve in those situations. Release Patrick needs expansion. That can be worked on. That's nothing, to be too down about. Route breaks can occasionally appear rounded due to its length. Working on, route running. That's all fair from a 20-21-year-old guy. I think he's a really good receiver, and the Saints got their hands on him. Hey, I'll take it. Then we got Princely from Ole Miss, man. Edge from Ole Miss. Let's take a look at these stats. I believe he was at Florida before. Oh, as a picture of Florida right there. We're glad it's Florida. That first year don't really care. First year at Florida, 2 sacks, 5 sacks, 7 sacks, 11 sacks. Got better each year, at least in the sack category. That's what you like to see from an edge rusher. Look at this overview real quick. Obviously, the Saints need, help, man. Granderson is solid on his side. I think he's a defensive end 2. Now they got wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. They use that for defensive end. I think Granderson would be a defensive end 2. We kind of need to pair him with a defensive end 1. I'm not saying Princely is that guy, but to have him on the opposite side, I think will be just a huge boost from the Saints. So let's kind of look at some of his overview, some of his strengths and weaknesses. Don't really care about the bio. Explosive first step. Well, like this. I mean, you're coming off the edge, you better have that. Mastered the art of cornering. Shows exceptional ankle flexion. That's great from a defensive end. Devastating spin move. That'd be great. Him and Brissy could be spinning all day. Excellent play recognition. Refined pass rush plan that builds throughout games. Sets up moves early and counters effectively. That's great. Someone coming in that's not a project that can do all of these things already. Relentless motor. Love that. Scheme. Versatile with experience playing both standing up and handling the dirt. Love that. Natural leverage player who consistently wins pad level battle. That's everything from a defensive end standpoint. Them strengths sound beautiful. Weakness is still developing his power rush moves. That's okay. Can get washed out against double teams in the run game. You don't like that, but somebody coming off the edge, it kind of happens. You expect it early in their career. Sometimes losing contain when trying to make splash plays. That can be coached up. I'm not worried about that. Initial get off can be inconsistent. That can be worked on as well. Could use more variety in his pass rush repertoire. Relies heavily on the speed rush and spin move. Hey, if it's working, it's working. He can develop some more moves, some counters to that. But I would really like this pick for the Saints. And next up, we got TJ Sanders, defensive tackle, South Carolina. Now, I know a lot of people are like, man, you took defensive tackles back to back. Yes, a defensive tackle sucked, like I said. I'm going to just be honest. Brissy, great, but he needs some help in there. We can look at the stats. Defensive tackle stats never really tell a story for defensive tackles, but we can still take a look. 5 sacks and 4 sacks at the defensive tackle position is really, really good, though. From the interior rush, because you're always getting double team, triple team, and stuff like that. I see 4.940 right there. That's crazy. Defensive 3 technique. He's kind of like built like Brian Brissy, so that's it. Ratio sophomore defensive tackle, 6'5", 298. That's nice size. Let's see. Blah blah blah. Don't care about that. Exceptional length. I already like that. Whoa, pause. Leverage advantage and disruption in the passing lanes. Impressive burst off the line. Love that. We need some explosiveness off that line. Versatile defender. High motor. Love that as well. Solid tackling technique. Demonstrates good hand usage. That's great. Got to be able to use your hands on the inside. Coachable player with steady improvement trajectory from freshman to redshirt sophomore year, indicating untapped potential. Ability to generate interior pass rush. Obviously available asset in the pass-heavy NFL game today. Weaknesses, slightly undersized for NFL defensive tackle standards. Hey, don't care, man. Undersized, Aaron Donald was too. Not saying he's Aaron Donald, not whatsoever. But, hey, man, if you can play, you can play. Limited starting experience, that's okay. Pass rush repertoire still developing, but could benefit from expanding move set beyond initial burst. Tendency to play high at times, and may need to improve lower body strength. Like I said, all of these guys are going to have weaknesses, so I'm not going to be super alarmed for any of this. Like guys that can't bend and stuff like that, or slow as hell. Those are the guys that concern me. He didn't have any of that. Obviously, can play. They say he can play in 3-4 scheme, 4-3 scheme. So that's good. And then next up, or maybe next up, if Norman Lott will load. Let's try to refresh him real quick. But yeah, we took another defensive tackle right after TJ Sanders, just because I think the Saints need the help. Saints just need the help, and maybe we just won't get him. Maybe he just don't want to be a Saint. Maybe he heard all the news and just said, we can wait. All right, well, we'll skip Norman Lott. Omar, we'll skip Omar real quick, and maybe he'll load up for us, or maybe not. Now we go center. Jake Majors. We'll go Jake Majors from Texas. 6'3", 315. This is just a backup center. I don't have to, talk about him that much. Stonewall and pass protection, neutralizing, interior rusher, stuff like that. It's a center. Lacks prototypical NFL size center. Like I said, this will just be a backup center. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I did watch him in the playoffs. I liked what I saw. Didn't super focus on the center, but it wasn't any major glaring holes. Like I said, it'll just be a backup player. A backup center is underrated in the NFL. The Saints learned that the hard way this year, and I would like this guy just to be a backup center. I have no idea of what is going on. I don't know why this pop-up keep popping up, but let's get out of here, buddy. Let's see if Omar came. No, he didn't. All right, well, let's try this one more time. Let's just search him up on Google. I don't want to get too far. Get Omar back. Hey, Omar Norman lot, defensive tackle. Jesus Christ. All right. Now we're back. All right, look at his stats. With at Arizona State for a couple years, then went to Tennessee. 2 sacks, 6 sacks, 4 sacks from the interior. You'll take that from an interior rusher. 5 flat 40-yard. I mean, at that size, you take that as well. That's decent athletic ability. But they got him listed at 6'3", 315 pounds. Here we go. Versatile defensive tackle, Arizona State to Tennessee. Obviously, let's see. Exceptional first step quickness. Obviously, you've seen a trend with the 3 guys I drafted. Quick first step athletic guys, man. I'm tired of being the slowest damn team on the field. We need to get some guys that's big, that can run, that can move. We just got to get better. You got to get better, got to get young, got to get more explosive. I think every guy I picked in the draft so far fits that. Maintains leverage at a point of attack that's really good. Demonstrates advanced pass rush. I feel like I did this already? But hey, obviously you know what I like in the draft. Advanced pass rush repertoire with effective swing and rip moves, converting speed to power when needed. I love the sound of that. High motor. You see a common theme. Versatile defensive lineman, can play different techniques. Showcases excellent block recognition skills. Exhibits strong football IQ. Can diagnose screenplays and make direction runs. That's all really, really good. Needs to improve consistency finishing plays. Can get washed out of plays when offensive line successfully engage in his chest. Medical history raises some concerns. Missing games junior and senior year. Brian Brissett had that same issue. Sometimes plays too high. That's easy fix right there. Must develop a more consistent counter move. When the initial pass rush plan is stalled. Obviously, no one's going to be perfect, especially picking, in about the 100 pick in the draft. But I really, really do like this player. Think he'll help the Saints defensive tackles because we need it. We need the help in the trenches, man. We need the help in the trenches. And as you can see with all these picks I got, that's 1 trench player, 2 trench players, 3 trench players, and the center. That's 4 trench players back to back to back to back for the Saints if I was, drafting in this draft, how the mock fell to me. And next up, a fan favorite right here, man. I know these stats are going to be off the wall. He came out and said he was the best running back in the draft. He was incorrect on that, but I do love that he said it. And what I love about it more is he backed it up, man. He backed it up, and he played fucking fantastic. Looking at his stats, 1,700 yards, 21 touchdowns. I forgot where he went to before ASU, some small school. Don't remember off the top of my head. 21 catches, 21 touchdowns, 45 catches, 605 yards. That's really, really good out the backfield. 3 touchdowns. I mean, dude had 2,300 yards, 24 touchdowns. Just a really, really fucking good year. Hard to bring down. Now, is he going to test well? Who knows? But I watch him play. He plays hard. He runs hard. He's hard to tackle. And, I mean, this would be great. He's not David Montgomery, but if you can bring him with Alvin Kamara, you can get a little Gibbs Montgomery type situation where he's the hard nose running right the fuck at you, running back. Alvin Kamara's the shifty Gibbs. I think that'll be a great duo if we could put them 2 guys together. Like I said, listed at 5'11", 215, 4'6", 40. He's not gonna test off the wall, man. Let's see if they say where he went. Heisman Trophy finalist, obviously at 6,000 yards, 69 touchdowns in high school. Sacramento State, that's where he was. Then obviously went to Arizona State and went crazy. Strengths, runs with tremendous forward lean, natural leverage. We all know that. It kind of reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew. That's kind of crazy. Obviously, he was a bowling ball, elite contact balance, something that Alvin Kamara has as well. Patient runner who sets up block, more skilled as a receiver than his background suggests. I just noticed that looking at his stats. Exceptional vision to spot cutback lanes, runs with infectious energy. I agree, and competitiveness. Yeah, he just likes to fire to the team, man. The way he runs, surprising lateral agility for his build, reliable short yardage and goal line back, who converted 78% of his 3rd and short situations in 2024. That is a fucking great. We can basically replace Jamal Williams with him. Weaknesses, ball security a major concern. 10 fumbles over the past 3 seasons. Oh yeah, you definitely gonna have to work on that. Long speed is merely adequate. I'm not expecting him to break an 80-yard run, so I don't care. Pass protection is wildly inconsistent. He can get better at that. Jump cuts can get too elaborate at times, sometimes dancing. I mean, that happens when you're playing smaller talent. He's probably used to that at Sacramento State, being able to do what he wants. Going to Arizona State, probably had to adjust a little bit. Workload over the past 2 seasons obviously raised some concern, but if you came to the Saints, you wouldn't be getting all those touches like that anyway. You'll be sharing the backfield with Alvin Kamara, so that doesn't concern me at all. And I think this would just be a fantastic pick for the Saints if we were able to get him. Yeah, I don't know why, none of this just wants to load anymore. But this would be Elijah Arroyo, tight end Miami. And I don't know why this same pop-up keeps popping up. Maybe AT&T just wants me. Who knows? All right, well, while Elijah Arroyo, the tight end loads, we'll go to the pick after him. Geron Dumis, let's check out his stats real quick. 67 tackles this year, 34 the previous year. At Georgia, has 70 tackles and 21 tackles. Georgia the year before that. I don't know why he left Georgia to go to Kentucky. Maybe his spot got took. Who knows? I haven't looked into it. Had an interception. 4 sacks, 2 sacks. That's pretty good numbers, especially some guy you getting this late in the draft. 4'6", 40, he's 23 years old. Does have a Shrine Bowl invite. I just don't know why I said that. Don't really care. Don't care about this. All right. Possesses a thick NFL ready build at 245 pounds. That's solid. Displays excellent instincts, proven big game performer, high pressure situations. That's good versatile defender, generates impressive power as a tackler, effective blitzer, demonstrates good lateral agility, strong leadership qualities, and high football IQ. I like the sound of all that. And this is a super late pick, so I'm gonna breeze through these. Lacks elite sideline to sideline range. Like I said, this is a backup guy. I'm not expecting to draft Mario Davis in the 6th or 7th round. Can struggle at times in man coverage. If we ask him to do that, then that just will be our fault. Tackling efficiency has been inconsistent. Recent form injury raises questions. May need to improve his ability to consistently disengage from blocks at the second level to be a true 3-down NFL linebacker. Like I said, this is a guy that you're getting the 6th, 7th round. You hope he can, come in and do some things, be a special teams guy. Not gonna go too much into depth about that. Then we got Tommy Hill, cornerback, Nebraska. I don't know. I'm really looking at stats for a corner, but we'll look at it anyway. 21 tackles, 2016-17. Had 4 picks the year before. Only 1 pick this year. Maybe they didn't throw at him. I don't know. I did not watch Nebraska football. Won't pretend I did. 6 foot, 205 pounds. Good size for a cornerback. 13 pass defender. That's really good. 2-way player. Played cornerback, receiver, and returner. I like that already. I guess little great value. Travis Hunter right here. Quick learner who adapted to position changes. Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how long he played receiver. 6 foot, 195. Can add muscle. Excels in zone coverage. Experience as a kick returner. Willing tackler. Battle through position changes. Improves tackle numbers each year. Shows desire to compete and get better. May struggle to keep up with elite NFL receivers in man coverage situations. Yeah, I mean, he's new to the position. I would expect that. Only 1 full season at starting cornerback. Who did we draft from Nebraska, man? What was his name? What, John Baptiste or something? What the hell was that corner name? I cannot remember. Remember we drafted this same type of situation from Nebraska with the Saints, man? It's going to be on my mind. It's going to be on my mind. I'm sorry, but let's finish him up real quick. Much more limited in man-to-man coverage compared to zone. Average agility may lead to challenge against quick shifted receivers in the slot. So like a 7th round pick, you're hoping that this will be a project guy, man. Maybe one day he can, fill in and play some corner for you. And now I have to NFL draft history Saints because this is gonna piss me off and bother me all day if I don't see who this corner was from, who he drafted from Nebraska. I know he was from Nebraska too. If I see the name, it'll pop out to me. It was a while ago. Before this. I think you. Oh, yep. Stanley John Baptiste. Yep, Nebraska. 2nd round pick, man. 2nd round pick. Yep, I do remember him. Absolutely god awful. Jesus Christ. I don't know why it just popped into my head, but yeah, god awful. And I had to. I was right, but I had to double check myself. Now Elijah Arroyo obviously played with Cam Ward, so he had a lot of eyes on him this year just because, you got a guy that's probably going to be a top number 1 pick or a top 5 pick, top 3 pick. So you're going to get some eyes on you. Had a really good year. Didn't do nothing his first 2 years. This year, 35 catches, 590 yards, 7 touchdowns. That's what a good quarterback would do. He'll help you out. go through some of his strengths and weaknesses. Prototypical wide tight end frame, above average straight line speed, soft hands, natural receiving skills, / big playability, high ceiling prospect with untapped potential due to limited collegiate usage. I mean, he had that tight end that was like 40 playing in front of him. Positional versatility to align inline on the slot, split out wide. That's really, really good. I like that. Exhibits kind of like Geron Johnson does. Kind of play a receiver role. Kyle Pitts does it as well. Those type of tight ends. Exists with good contact balance, blue chip pedigree, former 4-star recruit. Could be more to a productive NFL tight end. I think this guy could be a steal in the draft just because Miami didn't play him a lot. And when he got Cam Ward, obviously he showed a lot of potential. Weaknesses, medical red flags. That's never good. Severely limited collegiate production and game field. Like I said, didn't play. Subpar inline blocking, lacks experience against top tier competition. Route tree needs expansion and refinement. Yeah, I expect all of that if you're gonna draft a guy, 4th, 5th round. But yeah, man, that'll be the draft. That'll be the mock draft for the Saints. 2.0. We go through it again. Wide receiver, McMillan, Arizona. Obviously, that's a blue chip prospect, a guy that's gonna come in and be your wide receiver one. Honestly, especially with the injury concerns to Chris Olave from day one. If you tell me I got Olave, Sheed, and McMillan, I'll take it. Then you got Princely from Ole Miss off the edge. You can add him to the mix with Granderson. That'll be your 2 guys. Then you got back-to-back defensive tackles and TJ Sanders and Omar Norman lot. I would love that. Then I got the fan favorite running back from Arizona State, Elijah Morrow, Jake Majors, Geron Dumis Johnson, and Tommy Hill, cornerback, Nebraska. Let me know what y'all think about this one, man. It's the second mock draft. I really, really like this one. I would love this mock draft as well. I want the safety as well. I want the guard as well, but you can't get every position in every draft. Obviously, I got him in the first draft, didn't get him in this draft. Hopefully, I can mix it up, match it up. Hey, let me know who y'all would draft with these picks. Let me know how I think this one went. But thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, this is the Boo Tragedies, and I'm out.
So one last time, let's make